Hello everyone, this is the next to the last video on Rusty Days 2020. My name is Wojciech Polak, with me is Bartłomiej Kuras.
Hi.
And today we are going to present all submissions that came in during the hackathon that took place last weekend. First of all, big thank you for all participants. Your creativity is amazing. We've got 6 submissions and we must say it, without you there wouldn't be a hackathon. Second of all, big thanks for our partners, Anixe and Luxsoft Poland, for sponsoring prizes for this event. Okay, let's begin. As I mentioned earlier, we have 6 submissions and we will present them in alphabetical order.
Okay, so the first submission is from Aruginity, I guess. I hope I spell it more or less correctly. And this is actually some kind of simulation. I will try to show it for now. So just run it. Cargo, not make. Okay, so we see some circles running around. Basically, the yellow triangles are hunters which are trying to follow another species, and the circles are male and females which try to reproduce. Besides, they are hunted by hunters.
So,
Yeah.
so it is
Wojtek?
basically a society simulation.
Yeah, something like this. I mean, actually, rules are simple, yeah. So, genders try to reproduce, hunters try to hunt, and that's the effect. Yeah, and that I think that's pretty straightforward. We can read me for that to read something about rules. Not very exact. I mean, the speeds and stuff are not exactly described, but it's somewhere in the code, which is, I think, all in Rust in this case. Yeah, I don't see any. There are some shaders, so I guess a little shader computing language, but that's basically it. And yeah, that's the first one. The first one, Society Simulator, and the next one will be Box Team solution.
Okay, so
So
Box Team created a game of life, which is generating music. It's a music generator. So I prepared here a command docker, so we can actually run it. And if we go to the it's based is web browser, and I think it's compiled to WASM actually. So they are using GORS library to compile to Rust. And as you can see, we have here simple convoys game of life, and we can insert few cells. For example, we can have multiple game of lives, and then we can play it to have some kind of music. It's quite fascinating because on the same time you have music and some kind of video, so this is really fascinating to watch and listen. Okay.
yeah, and I guess you can add additional bot or even more bots to have some kind of harmony here. I was playing a little with that, so that's also a nice feature.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the third one is from Brightarch 3D, and well, Bartek, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah. Uh, so let's move to that one. This is some kind of distant field editor. Maybe start with readme because of why not. Uh, this is implementation of a rendering technique called ray marching. So some variation on ray tracing, I guess. I am not an expert in this technique. And this very solution implements only the spheres, which are basically the simplest shape, but it allows, at least in theory, it should allow to edit some scene. Unfortunately, on my system, the UI looks to be kind of irresponsible. I cannot do much here. I can compile some shadow or add some sphere, but things are freezing. But I mean, let's
Especially
say
in 48 hours.
in 48 hours to work on every system, so it could be just my system configuration. Uh, what is nice is that it's not just pure OpenGL. It is actually some implementation of the ray marching algorithm. So as author claims, this is very simple rule set about this technique, and effect is actually, I mean, it's ray tracing, and I like the effect of that, even if I cannot modify this scene, but maybe you can try later. With that, uh, yeah, and the solution is written mostly in Rust with a solid bunch of GLSL, which implements the algorithm itself. If we look at source, we have some mostly OpenGL handling, and in shadows we have uh, this fragment shadows with the rendering implementations. Okay, uh, so which is next? Hexyonks,
Oh
I
yes,
guess this was
Hexyanks.
for you.
So the Hexyanks created the very interesting algorithm and very simple rules. So basically what it does, if we open the directory, uh, so this program takes some input, in that case some picture, Mona Lisa, and based on very simple rules, it tries to create the same input, the same output from triangles, from random triangles. So this is quite easy algorithm to understand, but it gives us very powerful results if we wait some time. So for one iteration, we will have only, well, few triangles, but if we run it for a longer period of time, then we can see that it changes into the actual Mona Lisa. You can actually recognize this picture already. So this is quite amazing. And if we run it for 1000 iterations, then it's pretty similar, right? So uh, nice, nice idea. I would say it's quite simple, but awesome result.
Yeah. I guess it's just genetic algorithm of choosing the best triangle, the best random triangle, so it's really trivial, and yeah, gives that kind of I would say oil output, just like some kind of filter for me. I mean, I am not good at painting and theory of that, but yeah, also like this. Yeah, and last minute, also the other one you wanted to show us,
Oh yes,
I
so
think.
let's pause this one. And in the last minute, they created fractals. So I think they use the same theory as Brighter 3D. So it's ray marching, but this time it's not on GPU. At least I didn't see any GPU code on the in there, but it's actually compiling on a CPU. So as you can see, each frame takes quite a lot of time, between 5 seconds and even 20 seconds. So uh, that's that's quite big numbers here, and the result is actually very impressive. So if we open this, we can see that they generate cubes, fractals. Uh, I think some of this work is even quite artistic, I would say. So
Yeah, nice job. Yeah, I think that, as you said, the solution is fully on CPU and it runs for ages. And written, I think, completely in Rust's case, no GPU involved at all, or nothing involved besides Rust. And yeah, that would be this. The last one is Planter's solution. The last one we got, this guy is started with cargo make or Docker compose, I think. And this is another solution involving sound. This is actually the when I look at this solution, it brings this theremin instrument, musical instrument, to my mind. So what it does is we have four rhythmic schedules. We can modify them, and for every rhythm I can put this X, which has some frequency and some volume. Uh, so when I put those X's, I can have something. And sounds might be a little annoying and spooky. Here is this spooky thing here.
it is disturbing.
Yeah, but when I played a little of that, it's possible to try to do some song with it. There's this little trick when I just feel the one bar of rhythmic with like beat every beat. I can play some music with that, but I don't want to try live because I would screw it up. Yeah, and this is done with Rust with a little bit of JS and things because we need some bridge to the browser. Yeah, and that was the last solution we got from our attendees. We are very much happy we got those six, and we actually were able to run hackathon. And now it's your turn. We want you to vote on those solutions, as we previously uh, wrote in our rules. Every team would have 4 votes, as teams are up to um, 4 participants. We decided we want every team to have equal vote power. And just keep in mind that your votes are kept in U8, so you cannot split them in like thirds. Yeah, you need to assign your votes with whole numbers. You can pick 4 different uh, projects. You can vote on single project. You can decide on your votes in any way you want. Just keep them as U8s. Yeah, am I right, Wojtek? That was what we agreed.
Yes, and keep in mind that in case of any draw, we as organizers have right to choose what we thought it's a better solution. So no matter what, we will have our winner. Thank you all for watching this video and for participating, and have a nice time, and we will hear you soon.